I don't know who needs to hear this, but being a homeowner is not it.
Okay.
Being a homeowner does not determine your success. It's not the American dream, whatever the that is. It ain't the picket fence that we've been sold all our lives, you know?
You bought it.
It's a lie fabricated by the banks, in my opinion, to fill their pockets even more.
Sure.
Because when you're renting a house or an apartment, you're not paying escrow, you're not paying for taxes and insurance, you're not paying for HOA.
Homes aren't for people, homes are for banks. Let's continue.
Which, that's a scam in itself. Technically, this house that I took out a 30-year mortgage on is technically not mine. It's the bank's.
Correct.
If I don't pay my property taxes, if I don't pay my insurance, if I don't pay HOA, they'll put a lien on my house and
Correct.
buy a house.
That's right.
I don't think ever in our lifetime was the right time to purchase a home. Maybe back in the Lewis and Clark days, maybe in the hunter and gathering days, maybe back in the day when I could trade some rice for a piece of land, that was the time to purchase a home. That was the time. But not in this lifetime. I'm still trying to figure out what the American dream is, but it's not homeownership.
You know, they're actually even thinking about doing 50-year mortgages now. Isn't that great?
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Cooked. Let's continue.
And the argument of equity is just like the stupidest thing in the world to me, because how much money am I really getting back? How much is my property gonna go up in 30 years? Best case scenario, you buy a house that does not need any improvements, no renovations, no customization. You love the house as is. And I'm talking, you don't have to paint the walls, you don't have to change the floors, you don't have to change the counters, you don't have to add blinds, you don't have to...
A lot of times these home purchases are ego purchases. It's true. It really is true. And a lot of times people really don't know what they're getting into when they buy a home. People don't do their research on the zip code. Okay, what zip code is the house in, right? Is it in a subdivision? What kind of subdivision? Are there HOA fees that come with this subdivision? Am I going to have to take care of landscaping? Is there a yard? Is there a front yard? Is there a backyard? Are there trees around the house? Can I cut the trees down? Do I have to go through HOA before I cut the trees down? If I don't have to go through HOA, who am I going to pay to come chop down these trees so that the trees don't fall on the house in the event that a natural disaster comes? There's so many things to consider that often aren't considered when buying a house, because a lot of times people think, okay, well, I have the money to make the decision to buy a house, but they don't have the money to manage the decision.
Fact.
They have the money at the moment to make the decision, but they don't have the money to manage the decision. And that's where you get the term house poor. Oh, I bought a house. I achieved the American dream. I'm successful. People want to show off that success, right? People want to flex their life. They want to flex their life. But that house is robbing you blind. Not because the house did anything wrong, but because you did something wrong. We'll let her finish.
Tint the windows. You don't have to do any of those things because you love the house as is. You don't have to add a fence. Most people take out a 30-year mortgage in order to purchase a home. In those 30 years, chances are you're going to put some money into this house to make it your own. By the time you're ready to sell...
That's right. That's exactly right. If you think you're going to have a house for 30 years and not make any changes to it, not have to replace the roof at some point, not have to replace the water heater at some point, you're not going to want to redo the floors, you're not going to have to add a fence, chop down a tree, purchase a lawnmower, a couple lawnmowers. You're going to work for that house. You're going to work for the house. And I dare you to have an HOA and not take that trash to the curb, or have that trash can in a place where it can be seen. These people will take a picture of your trash can and send you a passive aggressive email saying, hey, we need you to move your trash can. Your trash can's visible. Because in certain subdivisions, when there's an HOA, they have to be able to sell the community. Right? They have to be able to sell the subdivision. So they take pictures and they put it online because they have to sell the subdivision. That's why everything has to look a certain way. That's why your grass has to be cut at a certain height. You can't have a forest in your front yard and not have HOA send you a passive aggressive letter in the mail or a passive aggressive email. Can't do that. So people really don't understand the costs that come with the maintenance of a home. Oh, well, my income qualifies me for a loan, so let me take out a loan for a house. People aren't buying correctly. Let's continue.
All that house, the equity that you get on it is probably what you've put into the house. I mean, I'm talking taxes, insurance, HOA, all of the things that go into home ownership. Wait, don't get me started with HOA, because when I was looking for a house, I was looking for a community with HOA, because I heard everywhere that that's how you keep the community clean.
Sure.
But when nobody is actually abiding by the HOA rules and HOA is not doing anything about it, then your value of your home decreases because fulana doesn't want to cut her grass.
Sure.
An HOA that you pay for quarterly or monthly or whatever.
Not only does she not want to cut her grass, she can't cut her grass. She can't cut her grass. She physically can't do it.
Is not doing anything about it. So yeah, maybe you have an upstairs neighbor that has like 6 kids running around at all hours of the day. Maybe you would like to play your music a couple decibels higher. Maybe you want a backyard. But the issues do not stop once you are a homeowner. They're very similar, just in a different way. When you have complaints about your upstairs neighbor, downstairs neighbor in an apartment, when you're renting, you can take it up with the landlord, you can take it up with the front desk, or you can be confrontational with your neighbor if you want. You have choices. When you're a homeowner, you have to, take it upon yourself, because let me tell you, HOA ain't gonna do about it. And yeah, the whole backyard thing. I have a backyard. I still can't let my dog run around loose because I have to purchase a fence, a $7,000, $9,000 fence. Really think about your decision to purchase.
So she got a house with dogs in a backyard and doesn't have a fence.
I mean, you just can't make this up.
Bruh. She has dogs and bought a house that didn't have a fence. See, when we talk about decisions, man, and financial decisions, a lot of times there's financial situations that we run into, we got ourselves there, man. We got ourselves there because people don't make decisions in order. She has dogs and didn't get a house with a fence, or still doesn't have a fence. People are making terrible financial decisions, and a lot of people have no idea how to order and structure their life. No idea. They want, but they cannot maintain the things that they want. I want a house. You can't maintain it. You can't maintain it. You can't make this up.
This is where all of my money goes. Every time a bill comes, I just hate owning a home, because who needs to pay $250 for electric?
I'm in the process of buying my very first house as a 28-year-old with no kids. I'm not married. I am
Okay, you're buying a house, you're single, not married, and you don't have kids. Why are you buying a house? Why are you buying a house? See, ego purchases. Ego purchases. This is an ego purchase. Why? There's no reason we're hurt about a house right now. Let's continue.
Relationship. I close in 7 days, and I feel like I should be super excited right now and happy, but in reality, I am terrified. And I am so nervous, and I want to back out, but it is literally way too late in the process for me to back out. And I've missed my last chance to do that. And so now I am just like sitting here and regretting my decision, but we're just gonna have to make it work. We're gonna have to figure it out, and
we're just gonna have to figure it out. So she is single, no kids, bought a house. Okay, so she bought the house. Now let's dive deeper into this. Let's play this out. Okay, she has no husband. She has no husband. So if she bought a house with a yard, is she going to mow every 2 weeks? Is she going to mow every 2 weeks? What if there's weeds in the yard? Is she going to go to Lowe's bi-weekly to pick up Roundup and spray the yard and get rid of the weeds? Is she going to do that? Does she have a lawnmower? Does she have a lawnmower? Gas power lawnmowers are way better than those battery power lawnmowers. But she probably can't pull the cord to get the lawnmower started, respectfully. So she's probably going to get a battery power lawnmower if she does get one. That battery is going to last you 2 to 3 years max, and then you're going to have to replace it. So she's going to mow bi-weekly. What if something goes wrong in the house? Is she handy? So If she's not going to mow bi-weekly, she's looking at outsourcing landscaping. That's a cost. If she's not handy, she's looking at outsourcing the issues that will arise in the house. Toilet, HVAC. Is she going to replace the air filters? Is she going to replace the air filters in the home? Does she know how to do that? Does she know where the vents are? Is she going to get a ladder? Does she have a ladder? Is she going to do that? Something goes wrong with the toilet. Is she going to replace the ring to stop the leak? Light goes out. Smoke detector. She got the 9-volt batteries to replace all of these little things that come up with home ownership. She has no husband, so she is going to have to outsource everything. That cost on top of the mortgage, on top of the insurance, if she has HOA, on top of the HOA, she probably doesn't own the car, so she's probably got a car payment. She's got car insurance. People don't consider the cost of the decisions that they make. The cost to buy, the cost to repair, the cost to own. These are all costs that need to be considered that she did not consider. She probably has a high paying job. So her salary on paper probably put her in a position to qualify for a loan amount. She got excited. I'm going to buy a house. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. And these are mistakes that people are making every day. And she's already regretting it. She's already regretting the decision. But she arrives at the conclusion, you know what? We'll just figure it out. People are out here winging it. You can't wing a decision like that. You can't do that. We'll let her finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna be house poor. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford food. I don't know how I'm gonna afford gas. I don't know what I'm doing. Who let
She just said it herself. I don't know what I'm doing. Who let me do this? You cannot make this up. That is it for me today. I'll catch you on in the next video.